Okay. So this is just the test. Can you hear me? Nobody's watching. One is watching. First thing, can you hear me? I'd like to know. Okay. That's my hand. Okay, so what we're doing here with the thumbs up, thank you very much. Okay, Lady P, I said I'd try and do this today, but we're just setting up shop right now, okay? I said I'd try and work on the appeal today, right? I did say that, okay? So can you hear me first of all? Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Okay. It's going to be a long day, okay? Because I only got, oh my Lord. Okay. I only got a couple of days to do this, right? And sound is good. Okay. So here's the deal. What time is it? It's 8:54 in the morning. Okay. My eyes are really, really bad because I've been outside. I was using the skill saw, sawing branches, and sawdust was flying in my eyes. And, I'd empty out a container with water that been algae in it, splashing into my eyes, and just whatever. Okay. Stress, lifting, tugging, pulling. I think tugging and pulling and lifting, as much as I've done over the years, may have tore something in my eyes. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. Okay, what we're talking about is, first of all, I have to sort. I don't even know where my stuff is. Okay, because what happened was, before I put that stuff out on the road, right? Rhea came over with her kids, but she had to go downtown for a dentist appointment. So anyway, we were going to work on the appeal, right? I said, Rhea, this is the way we're going to do it. It's the best. Trust me. I'll sit here, you type because you can see, right? And we'll just read from paragraph to paragraph Judge Ross's dismissal. And then as we read, I'll pipe in what I think we should put as, I guess, a rebuttal. And then if you think something, then, we'll just write, and we'll keep it down to like a couple, 2-3 pages. And because she can type fast and I can't see, I thought it would go really fast. So anyway, she went and had her appointment, and then we ended up in the garage, and, she went through it all because I wanted her to, right? Because if Sierra was alive or Shimei was alive, they would have gotten first dibs. And so anyway, time ran out. And she left with the kids, and I haven't seen her since, people. And I'm not bothering her because she knows what I need to do, but she doesn't necessarily agree with it because she thinks that I would be better off just to save my energy, save my money, and file a new lawsuit. So whether she's busy with her 3 children, with one being a baby, and time slips by and she forgot about it, and because I didn't call, I guess she figured I didn't think it was important. She's not here to help me, okay? So I have to do a solo. And of course, I've been struggling with it. Okay, I'm not reading comments right now. I'm just looking at the camera, trying to make it look like we're personable with each other here, right? In terms of, whatnot, right? What do you call it? I think it's important that I at least try to file an appeal. Whether it's related to the dream that I had with Shimei, just having to go through it with her and myself, like in terms of, now I might end up crying today, people, because I can't fucking see. And this is going to be hard. But I'm going to let this camera run for a long time. In other words, if I want to step off, I'm just going to let it keep running, okay? Now, kids are in bed still and whatnot. So, I may turn it off for a little while, take a break, and then hook it back on just to show you how the day goes as I try to figure out what I'm trying to freaking do here. Okay. All I need is a couple of pages, right? 1, 2, 3 pages. That's it. Because for what it's worth, we're dealing with liars and scoundrels and thieves. Okay. Because this Judge Ross, what he did with his appeal is freaking bogus. Because the first thing that he did, well, the first thing that those guys did on that end of the computer was they kept booting me out. Okay. And if anyone knows anything about fucking servers, sorry, boo-boo servers and that kind of thing, the one holding the server is the one that has control. And I learned that back in the day in 1999 when I used to go into those message boards on Black Planet and Black Voices and places like that. And sometimes I'd get booted out just because, right? I was very opinionated and I was very against institutional racism and white supremacy. That's kind of in part why I founded the foundation was to, bring in more of a fair equilibrium playing field for the different ethnic groups. But okay, let's stay focused. Now I'm going to be changing glasses here all the time because right now nothing is working. Okay? But I just want you to show how I'm not dropping the ball on Shimei or the rest of my family. So anyway, first of all, they were booting me out. Okay? Booting me out. And then, when we finally did get to have quote unquote online court, the judge tried to make it sound like we didn't know what we were doing on our end because our camera wouldn't log in correctly into quote unquote their server because they were the ones hosting the court. Okay. I mean, that's called gaslighting, guilt tripping right from the get-go. And then they tried to bamboozle me into putting it on freaking headphones so that I was the only one being brainwashed with whatever it was that they were trying to sell me with their snake oil. Okay. And of course, I said no, because, personally, I think the whole situation should be a public court like they have in the United States of America. I think it should be televised. I really do. But this is Canada, British Columbia, Canada, where you have no rights. You have no rights to identify your dead children's bodies. You have no right for independent autopsies if you suspect foul play, whether it's from the RCMP, the BC Service Coroner Service, or wherever, the hospitals. You're not entitled under any circumstances, whether you're a millionaire or the poorest of the poor, to get an independent autopsy as a second opinion as to how your loved one died. Okay. And what was left after the fact in terms of having organs removed, whether legally or illegally, you'll never know. Because for whatever reason, the provincial government made sure that through the legislation it was to be that way, and it is. And nobody fights back against it, people. They just don't. In part for different reasons, but that's not why we're here. Now, whether I can see this or not, because I've been trying to read something today, trying to find glasses that actually work. Nothing is working for me, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sweating it. I'm just going to let this run, for hours. I think you can do an 8 hour, what is it called? Live stream. Right? So maybe we'll do something like that, or maybe I'll run it for a couple, 2-3 hours or whatever. If I got to go walk off and do something because, I got to deal with whatever, I'll go walk off and deal with it. And then I'll come back and pick up from where I left off, or I'll turn it off and then restart another one. I don't know. Anyway, so Rhea did bring back my original notice of civil claim. Okay. You can see, let me see. From what I can see, to me, everything looks blurry. Okay. This is my original one. Okay. But I have to dig through these papers here that are all messed up, because when Rhea came, she wanted to see this and she wanted to see that. And so I pulled out binders for CIBC Bank, and because I asked her to help me just get the right form to, I guess I said to her, do whatever it is that the government does to me. In other words, CIBC Bank wants to throw it out. Judge Ross is under the assumption that it's still kind of pending, just barely alive. Choice words for a judge. And or is that the appeal? Whichever, or right. So I said, well, maybe I should go and just, because they're wanting to throw it out of court based on a few little things that they're going to submit. And I want to put in no, I don't want that to happen. Right. My son is here. Our greatest gift, our beautiful grands and joy. Yeah. We're with you. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so anyway, we'll just carry on here. So if I would have gotten some help with that, I would have submitted something to say, no, I disagree with CIBC Bank. Like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to acknowledge them. Right? But I was willing to make an attempt to stand against them by myself, being that that's what the Attorney General office said. And the judge seems to agree. Okay. To which I disagree, because clearly there's criminal activity in there that puts my family's life in jeopardy. And it has ever since they medically kidnapped Uncle John. Okay. To which the bank is being very irresponsible to encourage that gang stalking that comes around that whole situation, being that it was illegal what they did. Right? So, okay. So I figure if I can get downtown in the next few days. Now, tomorrow, I have to go off and get some more of this animal fat, because unless it's pouring rain, right? And I'm on foot, so I have to walk. But it's important that I have that, because we just don't know what's going to happen within the economy over the next year. So I'm going to get a little bit more beef fat. I'll do one more batch of beef fat and whatever pork fat that I get. And then I said, well, after that, I'll cut back on the beef fat, because I would have had, done it twice. And I'll just continue doing a little bit of pork fat for a little while longer, just to add to what I have. And then after the fact, I can just relax, right? So I may have to go out tomorrow to go get that. And it should be frozen. So I'll just pop it into the freezer, because it's, I've got yard work before I can really do animal rendering when it comes to fat, making lard, right? So I'm going to try and work on this off and on throughout the day. This is just to get me motivated, just to get me motivated on something here. So nobody is watching, so I'm watching. I'm talking to myself. Obviously, people are busy. It's first thing in the morning, and that's fine, because the purpose of this is for me to sit here and get motivated and gather up what I need to do, so that when I got to get into that crunch to write that appeal, that's what I got to do. But before I can do that, I need to find it, the judge's dismissal. Right. And of course, this is all mixed up. So everything, I can't see nothing. I cannot see anything, people. You don't know. It is bad, bad, bad. Now, people are either getting booted out or they're just exiting out because they've got things to do. And Peggy was saying that her son is there, so she's chatting up a storm with her son. And that's why I am just going to show you how I struggle with this crap. But it's important that I follow through on it. I really do think so. Or at least give it my best attempt, to which this is what I'm going to do. I don't want to do it by myself, right? So this kind of makes me feel not so alone. But I'm going to warn you, I'll probably cry throughout the day because this is difficult. I'm crying in part because of the frustration, because I can't see, right? I'm crying in part because of the urgency around it in regards to I've only got a few days left, and obviously I'm very far behind, right? I'm just numbering the pages right now, trying to organize the numbers. Everything's all mixed up, right? I can see the number. So it looks like page 5 is missing. Unless it's tucked in here somewhere. I'm just counting the numbers. It looks like page 5 is missing. Go figure, right? That's what happens when you yeah, maybe it's in here. Hold on. Let's see. Could be on my table. One. Two. I can barely see anything here, people. I can't even read it with a magnifying glass. 3. 4. 5. Rhea took this home after we did the court, and I don't know. She brought it back. And right now there appears to be a page missing. So maybe it's over there. There's a box here. So I'll just put a paper clip on this and we'll look for page 5. And if I can't find it, I'm going to have to find it on a flash drive. Maybe it might be on this computer and print it out. Or I think I put it on a PDF up on Google Documents. And print it out from there. But it still might show up. Maybe this is it right here. Oh, page 5, problem solved. There you go. Okay, so we've got the original notice of civil claim that was stamped by the Supreme Court of Canada in British New Westminster. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's all together. That's not what I need to really look at outside of, I don't know, but we have it. Okay. And then, what do we got here? So dark. What is this? So another person came in. Tammy, 12:12 p.m. here on the east. It is 9:14 here on the west. Right? Are your comments coming through? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But I'm working. I'm starting to. I'm getting ready, trying to get motivated here and not feel so alone, so that when I find what I'm looking for in terms of Judge Ross's dismissal, I'm going to sit here and read paragraph to paragraph, and then I'm going to type my appeal online as I go through this process, just so that when I go downtown next week to pay for an appeal, which will cost me $200, to go in front of a 3-panel judge, 3 judges, to express why this needs to go, I guess, to trial, right? Because that's what the government is trying to do, throw it out so they don't have to go to trial. So that I can say that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in regards to not dropping the ball on my family. Because they deserve justice, okay? We all do, dead or alive, it doesn't matter, okay? And, but obviously I'm struggling, okay? I'm struggling because of my eyes, but I don't feel so alone going through this right now. And I figure if I just do this, it will be easier, it will get done faster. And that's just half the battle. The other half is just taking it there and filing it. It's like a test, right? You can't pass the test unless you do the work. You have to do the work, submit it. Even if you fail the test, you still get marks for it, right? I don't expect to pass the test because I can never live up to a corrupt justice system that are liars and thieves, basically. But, you know, I'm trying not to let my personal feelings get in the way of this. Okay, so let's stay focused. Okay, let's stay focused. All right. Now, this is Exhibit 2. Is this my exhibit or their exhibit? Because if it's their exhibit, this is Sonia 2's exhibit, because you can see she likes to use tabs. Okay? And she mixed everything up as if they even bothered to look at it, people. Okay? And that's another thing. When we started off with this Judge Ross in the very beginning, not only were they booting me out on their server and then tried to gaslight me and make it sound like my camera, my computer wasn't working correctly. They wanted me to put on headphones. Obviously, no, that wasn't going to work. And then the judge, almost from the get-go, said that he didn't have all the information. All he had was what was submitted from 171 and on, which went up to 300 and something. But he didn't have the first 170 pages, to which that's where the enduring power of attorney from CIBC Bank was, John's will, everything that related to John or me, or in combination of each other for the most part, right? And then what was came in on the second affidavit with the document list from 171 until 300 and whatever was on the PDF files on the flash drive. And then he tried to say that he had the flash drive, because even though I put everything into paper form from the flash drive that was in PDF that could be printed out, the videos, I couldn't do it, or the sound recordings, I couldn't do it. And when I tried to upload it to the courthouse through their server, they refused it because they said that the files were too big. So there's no way he could have had the flash drive, people, because I wasn't allowed to submit it to the court registry. They wouldn't take it through the court registry. I couldn't submit anything online through their server. It didn't matter. So where did he even get a flash drive from? He didn't. So he lied to me. And then through that process, as we were, discussing things or whatever, and I said to Rhea, you need to ask him, you need to verify, right? You need to verify that he has either all the information from page one, all the way up, we'll just say 340, we'll find out, right? Page one, all the way up to 340 pages, or does he only have 171 to 40 pages? Rhea asked him to confirm that he only had half of the information. Then he freaking flipped it around. He says, oh, no, that's okay. I got it all now. Okay? Seriously. This is why they don't want you televising it, people. Okay? They falsify their records because that's what the last judge did. Which one? Judge Savage? Right? Or was it Judge Bowden? Which one was it? It was Judge Bowden who falsified his records in terms of what he told me and then what he wrote. Completely two different things. If it would have been televised, there would have been no debate. As I'm watching you, 0 is showing watching. Well, it says 1 is watching for me. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised. This is YouTube. This is a serious subject. This is a subject with substance. Okay. This is a matter of life and death. Okay. So I just wouldn't be surprised. All right. I need the moral support, whether it's in and out throughout the day with this live stream, whether I leave this live stream on for 8 freaking hours, 2 hours, shut it off, go take a break, come back, turn it back on, do that again, turn it off, come back, turn it back on. We're going to get through this, and I'm going to write 2 or 3, even one page for as much as it's worth, because we know that the government's going to come in with their stack of papers like this and another stack of their case law to dismiss my appeal, people. Because I'm the one that's scandalous here. I'm the one with the issue when it regards to lying and thieving and killing and maiming and hurting and just mind boobery. Okay? And that's why I'm doing it now like this, because I know what I'm going to be coming into for what it's worth. But it is worth it, okay? Because if that dream that I had with Shimei wasn't influenced by Voice to Skull or MK Ultra or some other sick agenda that these individuals in my community like to use families as test subjects to their technology, well, yeah, this is important. Because when you see me go through his dismissal, and I don't know how, I have to find it first. That's what we're doing. We're just organizing a little bit here. So that when I do sit down and do it, you're going to see. Well, you'll hear, right? You'll see and hear, right? What I really got to say about it. And then you can decide for yourself whether I'm the liar or whether they're the liars. Okay? So this is the one I think, I don't know. This one came in from the government all mixed up. Okay? You can see. Where am I? Huh? Okay. That's not the one I want. They mixed it up on purpose. Oh, I gotta put this box maybe over here. I brought in a bunch of crap. From what was flushed out in the basement. See, look, what's this? Oh my Lord. These are her tabs. Look at this. What is this? I don't even know where that came from. I would think it's from this. Can't see. Everything's gray. I can barely see the letters. Okay. I'm gonna rush. This is just a blueprint for an order that they want. They provide it for the judge, so all they have to do is just have him sign off on it. Right? Yeah, that's what that is. Because it's an automatic slam dunk for them. Okay. Now this is Rhea had me looking for the CIBC binder. I did finding it for her because, like I said, I was thinking just to address it and stand in front of them by myself and be done with it. Okay, really all we want is the appeal. I mean the dismissal. I have it printed out here. I just don't know where it is. Everything's all mixed up. I can't see. Working outside made it worse. But we knew that was going to happen. No matter what I do. But I can't do that shit with eye patch on, sunglasses, and then being told I can't lift anything. I can't bend over. I can't. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is just, I don't know what this is. Application for childcare. I was trying to hook up Tisha with that, but that's not working out. Forms, documents, checklist. Oh my Lord. I think that's still daycare crap. Come on. Okay, here's a little book. This is good. I can use this to write, but I can't see normal. I need it bright. This pen doesn't work too bad. What is this? Okay. Just give me a scrap piece of paper. Let's see. Let's do it down here. Kind of see it. I need a bigger, thickness on the end to make it bigger. Like Uncle John, right? He needed big, right? Big and dark. That's where I'm at. Okay, I'm not finding what I'm looking for here, people. Oh my God. This is just great. I was going to do this all by myself, but I thought I'd turn this on for a while. Yeah. I don't want to quit. I don't want to give up. I don't want to burn out. Oh yeah, I did end up ordering that pizza. I made sure I got it early too. Sat there, ate pizza, whatnot, and then basically, yep, went to sleep. Pretty much slept. Now I'm trying to do this as I squeeze in some laundry at some point. I don't even know where to look, people. It's probably over there. Okay, here's some more shit. Oh. Everything got moved around. Okay, just one thing at a time here. Okay. Now, two people watching. That's what it says on my end. This is just whatever. If people can do this stuff when they're running around their house, cooking and cleaning and taking showers and changing and just kind of doing whatever they do and they get paid for doing stuff like that, I figured I could just do a couple of these as I get ready to work on the appeal and as I work on the appeal, just to give people an idea that this isn't no easy picnic, okay? Now, you have to keep in mind, my house has been torn apart for the last, month and a half, more than that. And, there's only so many hours in a day. Okay, so this one here looks like it's from the government again. So I think what I should do is whatever's from the government should probably go in that box, right? Because I got a box here to try and help keep this stuff sorted out. Because it's addressed to me. July 18th, 2022. Is this the one that she mixed up all over the place? And she mixed everything up. This one's from the government, so it's mixed up, I'm sure, because I tried to match up the numbers in there, and she purposely went out of her way to mix things up. I think these ones are mine. If you got some work to do, paperwork or something, I suggest you just sit down and start doing some of your own paperwork. Multitask. Okay, so I think this is a full set here, but we won't worry about that. This was addressed to me by them, so we'll just put that in the box. I think these ones are mine. I think these ones are mine. I had highlighted areas in there that related to, I'm pretty sure, the power of attorney and enduring power of attorney, whatnot, or something in relation to something that I was hoping to discuss when it was my time to talk. But of course, that judge didn't really give me a time to talk, people, because he decided that he was going to separate everyone into silos. That was his word. He says, well, we're going to put everybody into silos so I understand what I'm dealing with, because I'm coming in as a family, representing my family, to which I'm being told that I have absolutely no right to do, because dead people should come back from the grave and fight for themselves after they've been murdered. Basically, that I have no right to fight for justice for my dead daughters. I have no right to fight for justice for Uncle John through the medical kidnapping of his persons, so that his inheritance and other assets, whatever they thought that he had, could be taken from him. I definitely have no right to fight for Amari, because I'm apparently not qualified to do so. And that was his. So before he would listen to any kind of, I guess you could say, evidence, because it wasn't about the evidence. It was more about, putting everybody into silos so that he could dismiss all of us in one big swat. And that's what he did. Okay. And even then, not everybody was addressed. So this time, when I put the appeal in, I am listing every family member that is connected to me in regards to my 5 children, Uncle John, and Amari, and Andre, because they're in my care. And I'm basing that on Paul Evans, the lawyer, quote unquote, the lawyer that was denied access to Uncle John, because I suppose the social workers and the nurses at the Victoria General Hospital just wouldn't let Uncle John talk to him. It's not like he didn't try to get a hold of Uncle John. He did, just nobody would allow him to talk to him. He was the one who said, list everyone's names. So throughout Uncle John's lawsuit, everybody's names are listed in there, because we all got psychologically damaged and injured and physically sick and just the whole 9 yards from them doing what they did. When I did Shimei's, I didn't necessarily put down everybody's name, right? But this time when I do the appeal, I'm definitely going to do that. I have had time to think about it, because I don't like it when these so-called judges sit up there and say that I have no standing to represent my family. I have no standing to represent Uncle John, because I'm just a quote unquote friend. No, I'm more than a friend, and I have the paperwork to prove that I'm even more than that. Okay, in terms of, I had enduring power of attorney for in good standing for 25 years. I showed the judge the paperwork, Judge Bowden, in December of 2017, to which now in 2022, Judge Ross is trying to play it off like I didn't. And that's a bold-faced lie. So that will be in my appeal. Just like Judge Bowden ignored what I handed over to him through the people that do the transcripts, and then he handed it back to me, ignored what I handed to him. Judge Ross also ignored it when it was right on his desk, assuming that he even had it, because in the beginning of their session, He tried to say he didn't even have page 1 to 170. All he had was the second half. And then he changed his tune somewhere in there and said, no, he had it all, including the flash drive, which is impossible because nobody gave him the flash drive. And if they did, they're not even acknowledging it. In other words, if it came from the provincial government and they handed over a flash drive and said, here, this is a copy of the flash drive that she gave us, we know you can't get it because it's impossible to upload it onto the court registry. So we'll just make it easy on you and give it to you. You know, that's all he had to say was the government gave him a copy. But no, he left it hanging. He never answered how he got it. He just said he had it, which is bullshit. And because he put everybody into silos, into some canister with our names on it, canister to canister to canister, and put Amari into permanent lockdown under that manufactured poverty so that he's always at the mercy of basically the public union sector and their professional employees, it's a slam dunk to do what they want with my family. And then they wonder why I do shit like this. And it's good that I'm getting mad. I'm just starting my day. I need to get mad. I need to follow through. And that's what I'm going to do to the best of my ability. And if you don't want to watch me struggle doing this, so be it. Get lost. Seriously. You're a waste of fucking space. I don't give a shit. I'm just waiting for the troll to come in and start saying something. And then I figure my homies will just knock her out. Because after the fact of causing trouble and being a troll, I'll come back in, watch the live, read the comments, and find out that all the comments disappeared because the coward didn't even have you know the courage to leave their comments up. Right? You understand? Come in and you know the ladies in the house will be like, "Go away," you know, and then I'll come back and I'll watch later, and all that trolls' comments will be gone. Only thing is, I'm not really watching comments right now, so if the troll comes in, you know, whoever the moderators are when it comes to my channel. In terms of the supporters, they can take care of the trolls, okay? So in the meantime, let's stay focused, okay? Let's stay focused. All right. All right. So these ones I think are mine, from what I can tell. Like I said, I already was waiting to talk to the judge about, you know, sections in here, and he steered as far away from the evidence that he possibly could. Instead, he wanted to hear about everybody's story, how we were being gang stalked. And then when I explained to him what was going on in terms of who or whatever, he just trivialized it, you know, like with Shimei. Oh no, the healthcare system would never be so heinous in regards to putting a dead body on a hospital bed for 9 days. They're completely ethical, and what you are suggesting is completely unreasonable and would never happen because they just don't embalm bodies in the hospital. Well, I'm here to tell you that they do, right? And being that you're a judge, you should be willing to listen to that evidence instead of trying to make it sound like that Shimei just killed herself because of an overdose and that just whatever he was trying to do. And yeah, you know, versus, you know, he just distracted away from things, people. They used Uncle John as the bait to call me in with their dismissal because it had already been dismissed by Fraser Health Authority and their judge, right? And adding in more information is Judge Ross. Okay, so we know that. So let's just stay focused. Okay, this is the whole point. I have to write this shit down today. And if not all of it today, at least get it started and come back tomorrow after I go get my animal fat to make my lard. Because I definitely want a bit more lard. So I'm not going to pass up on that. So as long as it's not pouring rain, it's good to go. Okay, so what can I see? Nothing. What is this? It's just because there's a few pages missing here and there. That's why. July 27, 2022. Okay, so this was the second time I put a batch in. This was the stuff that was on the flash drive on PDF. I actually took the time to take the paperwork, put it onto PDF, and then put it on a flash drive because it gets heavy and expensive, right, in multiples. They refused it, said that I needed to put it into paper form, to which I did as much as I possibly could. And that was the result of it, to which the judge said initially that this is all he had, and he didn't have the first part. But then halfway through whatever we were doing, then he tried to say that he had it all, even though in his ruling, he never once addressed the official information because he's trying to hide the criminal activity. That we know. So I should keep these out handy, not that I can see anything. These are the ones that we're working with today because these ones are directly mine. No. Still watching? Okay. So I'm only submitting a couple pages because we know the government's going to come in with this because that's what Andrew the Dragon did. And that was just on a waiver of fees. And he turned it into, I don't know, some kind of freaking mini trial that apparently the judge dismissed in terms of my waiver of fees. But that's not how I heard it. I heard it go to the cops and have the cops investigate it. Get out of here. He never did say the word dismissed to me. So, but apparently something's still pending. I guess the appeal is still pending. So when I get downtown, I'll make inquiries about that. To which, if it is, that means I have to pay $200 in order to go in front of a 3-panel judge just to address with what Fraser Health Authority and Andrew the Dragon did. Okay? Do you see how this goes? Because I'm not poor enough to qualify for a waiver of fees. All right. So what's this? This is just my letter. My stuff. Oh, yes. Stuff that means nothing. Because they don't look at shit like this. They're too busy putting everybody into a box and hammering nails into the coffin. Okay. This is all the government stuff. Okay, you can see how nice it is because they can afford it. Okay, so I don't need this. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the dismissal. Right? But I'm going to put this in the box. Okay. Look, do you see? Look at this. What do you think's going to happen? This is all the governments. What do you think's going to happen when I submit my 3 pages? You think that's going to double? Okay. Now I know Rhea took something. She brought back the dismissal that I photocopied out for her. But like I said, she said she was going to help me with this, so she took it back. But I know I have my own copy here. It's just I've been busy, so it's probably in there somewhere because I'm not coming across it right now, that's for sure. But that's okay. We'll get through it. Now, this is, I think, in relation to Fraser Health Authority, mine. And what's in there is really what I need to do, honest to God, is I really need to put the original notice of civil claim, which is 100 and, oh, I don't know, 80, we'll just say 180 pages, onto PDF and upload it onto Google Drive and make the link available so that for the ones that want to read it, can read it for themselves. And maybe they might learn something, whatever that may be, in terms of protecting their own families, right? Okay. Claim of the plaintiff, statement of facts. Oh boy. Statement of facts. You can't see. Everything's all blurred. Okay, well, this is my original one. See, the first, the statement of facts, it looks like it goes up to 109 pages. 10, 11, 12. Boy, oh boy. So the statement of facts goes up to 114 pages for Fraser Health Authority. You can see. And then legal basis. I don't know. Doesn't seem right here. There's binder missing in here. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Goes from, is another 10 pages. And then we've got legal basis again here. I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to rush. You don't have to watch. Legal basis. No, relief sought. Relief sought is 1 to 10. So the initial statement of facts was 114. Add 10 more pages. That's 124, right? And then the legal basis, to which I didn't know what I was doing. And Uncle John should be treated as an individual, not as case law for corrupt judges and lawyers. I wanted to say masturbate with, but I'm sorry, people. That's how I see it. It's, it's a form of group masturbation. It really is. It's either that or a bunch of vultures just going in for the kill. Which one? So legal basis is actually quite a bit here. Everything that those first three judges ignored, completely ignored. They used Master Taylor to draw all the lines through it by humiliating me and telling me that I couldn't do a notice of civil claim at the count of 124, add on another 40. I can't see if that's a 6 or an 8. 46. So 124, 46, carry 1. That'd be 184. 180 pages for the first original notice of civil claim for Fraser Health Authority. And Master Taylor had me bring it down to 20 pages as he insulted me. And because I had to do that, that was the only way I could amend it. That gave the court and every other judge the opportunity to ignore the evidence completely. And even when I came in and supplied the evidence with 300 and how many pages it is with the Attorney General's office, the judge decided to put everybody into a silo and hammer in the nails. Basically. Now, there's a lot of information in there, people. That's the one that needs to go up online so that you can see how they use legislation against you. And when you come back with the legislation and you call them on the legislation, they ignore it because they know. They know that if they were to acknowledge it, you'd win. And they'll do everything in their power to make sure that they don't acknowledge it. And that is the point of this exercise, is to remind the next 3 judges that I come into contact with, because the government wants to come in with their 50 fucking binders later to dismiss it. That the evidence is there staring them in the face. Okay, so these ones I got to keep out because I really do need to put them into PDF files, because the white binder is Fraser Health Authority. Oh, I should double check the blue binder. It should be CIBC Bank. It's not as much, right? But they're just as corrupt. So yeah, this is CIBC Bank. It looks like the original, and then they came in, and because I already knew what was going on, I just went out of my way, out of courtesy, to do the same damn thing, so that when I went and stood in front of a judge, they couldn't say that I needed to amend it, because I'd already taken the time to amend the bloody thing before I even got there. So when I go to court with CIBC Bank, assuming that I do, because I don't know what I'm going to get when I get downtown, I'll just find out. And whatever form I need to fill out, I'll fill it out. And if I have to stand in front of CIBC Bank by myself, I'm just going to hand over the, what is that called? The court number for the Attorney General and the Public Safety and Solicitor Attorney General. And I'll tell them that somebody's watching your guys' ass. Right. Right. Okay, so these ones we want. Okay, we want to keep these ones out. So I'll put them right there. And I'll look, I'll try and squeeze in time to see if I can work on, what do you call it? Getting them on PDF. To help others to learn how to do this stuff. Not that I know what I'm doing, because I don't. But if it gives you a starting point, that would be great. Now I'm going to go check on Amari here for a minute, so I'll be back. Hold on a minute. Okay, well, the camera's running, so just. Oh. Okay, so let me see where we're at here. I didn't find what I'm looking for yet. It's probably over here somewhere. Okay. Well, it says 4 for me now, and it's 9:58. It's okay. Like, I'm not the beef sector. I'm not going to draw in a lot of views because I pick on, I guess you could say, politicians and their like. I don't necessarily pick on, well, I do pick on ethnic groups, but like I pick on the Catholics, I pick on the Punjabis, I pick on the Hindus, I pick on this, I pick on the Muslims, I just whatever, right? But not like what they do on YouTube. You got all these black women running around just gossiping on about each other, and they get like 10,000 views for that. So, so it's easy on the brain. People don't have to think, but that's not my style, right? So I don't care if it's one person watching right now, nobody watching, because people will just come in and out. And all I know is I'm not alone doing this right now, and that's important, because clearly you can see I'm struggling with this, right? And now I'm going to start getting emotional because it's going to be an emotional roller coaster all day, because the more I use my eyes for this kind of stuff, the worse they get. They deteriorate, and they're already just getting whacked out. But this is important. It's only a couple of days out of my life. Okay, I got till Tuesday, the latest. Okay, unless of course something really catastrophic happens to prevent me from going downtown. Whether it's by design or by natural occurrence remains to be seen. I bought quinoa. I bought a whole bunch when I did my food prep, right? So this recipe book, I don't want to make something as if I got time or any room on my counter space right now. I'm thinking about what I can give away next in terms of putting it out on the road. Okay, so we're just going to keep looking for what we're looking for, only I don't know where to find it. I can easily print out another one, but I got to go easy on my ink and paper. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know if I don't know. We'll just hold on. We'll just hang in there. I'll just look over here now. When I do all this food prep stuff, because of the calorie count for Amari, I try and save these things, right? So eventually, I could find time, maybe one day if I can see better, to work on Amari's cookbook, and I get, the general calorie count to all these little different things that are in the mix. Okay, come on. I don't know where the heck it went. This is the strangest thing. Like, it really shouldn't be that far. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't do nothing. And because I haven't had a chance to sort out anything for a long time. What? What is that? What? Okay. Because I haven't had a chance to sort out anything because I've been doing so many other things. And then when people come and scatter shit around, just whatever, this is what happens. So I may have to just print out another one just to get to the chase of things here. So I don't waste too much time because I'm already wasting time. But we're organizing, so it needs to be organized anyway. I mean, it could be in this box. Who knows? So I'm going to try and see as fast as I can what's going on here. See, now, if Shemaine was alive, she would help me. She would help me with this stuff. But like I said, they didn't want her alive because they didn't want her fighting for Uncle John because they knew she was a whippersnapper. Just any more than they wanted her to be a nurse. They didn't want her to be a nurse, people. Oh, yeah. I told Truth for Reality that I would go grab her binders today for some material facts in terms of when I work on this appeal. And then that's when I'm going to let him know what school she went. Because he said he's working on a video, so I don't know. So I'll try and get to that. Okay, I don't see it. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get mad. What do you think's in there? You see this one? Oh my God, people. The Evidence Act. Well, it means nothing because they don't even look at evidence. You see, that's the thing. They don't care about evidence. The only time that they're caring about evidence is if they can prosecute you with it. Okay? Not, that's it. That's the only time. Because if they were looking at the evidence, I wouldn't be doing anything that I've been doing. Okay, so I think, you know what? Sometimes, now this is the value of old technology. Okay? This is why I like old technology. I just turned on my old Windows 7. And I'm just going to print out a new one. I could be looking for that thing all day long. But that's not what we need. I mean, to be looking for it all day long. We just want to keep this as simple as possible. Right? As easy to read as possible. Because we don't expect to pass the test. We just expect to do it and say that they can and say that we did it. The test is rigged. We're dealing with a bunch of cheaters, okay? Okay? Now this keyboard, I wanted to change it because all the numbers are worn off on it. But I don't have time for that right now. So it might take me a little longer because I'm not a typist and I like to see the letters for the most part. Now, like I said, you're going to see me be using different, what is that called? I think somebody's coming upstairs. You're going to see me use different pairs of glasses off and on. Oh my God, hold on. I'm doing a live stream. Why do you need it? Because I already had any left. Well, I only have a little bit. Because you'll hear, then you probably got lucky. You probably got just enough for what you need.
All right. Enjoy your live stream.
My what?
Your live stream.
Well, I'm doing it all day. I'm working on the appeal.
No problem.
I'll be doing it today and tomorrow. It is what it is. Okay. Okay. I have to log on first, okay? So where are we? Is fine. Talk is free. Love you. Love you too, Lucy. Power to you and your family. Paperwork is a huge, complicated thing for sure. It sure is. I'm here with you, towing that line. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, we're going to get through this. Okay, so let me stop and think. Everything's just glaring away. I have to log on. Oh my God. And of course, I need a new mouse, right? I need to get some mice because mice get old. And they like to. Or somebody hacks into your computer and moves the mice around for you, right? And you're fighting with them. Yeah. Okay. I'll just log on and we'll get it printed, and then I'm going to have to go deal with Mari, and I'll come back in a bit, right? We'll just let this keep running. Maybe a ghost will fly by or some energy weapons or something. Right? And things will start moving on their own. You know what they say, when the cat's away, the mice will play, right? Right. Right. Yeah, I got to get a new keyboard. Oh, come on, man. What do you want?
I'll make a kitchen at 11. The switch early in the morning.
Okay, go check on Amari for me.
I was going to tell her that I'm not.
Okay. It is so hard for me to see the print. Okay, so it would be in primary, right? Oh, I can't even read it. Reasons for, I think this is it. In the Supreme Court. Okay. Now we're going to print it out. See, this is why I like old technology. So, problem solved. Now I need the Criminal Code of Canada. It's only been kicking around forever, right? Of course, can't find it now, right? Not that I can see that teeny weeny print anymore. Okay. Again, something that the courts use for their advantage when it comes to charging people with crimes. But when you come back and you point out that crimes are being perpetrated by them and their kind, right? Or their affiliates or partners or whatever in terms of breach of trust, all this other crap, they completely ignore it because they think you're dumb and they know that you can't afford a lawyer to fight back. Now, this is what I did with Uncle John, which is all listed under that original notice of civil claim against Fraser Health Authority. You can see that's a lot in terms of sticky tapes and stuff, right? So it's not like I didn't take the time to read it, because I did. Now, this was 2009. This one was 2018. Now, this would be interesting. In December of 2018, they took out witchcraft and their little section out of the Criminal Code of Canada. They voted it out from a federal level, right? For whatever reason. So it should be, that section should be here. This is 2018. They took it out in December of 2018. So I don't know if it's listed in here or not. Either or, as I know that they took it out in December of 2018. Because when you come back to the court accusing an entity, whatever that entity is, in this case it would be the government and their employees, with witchcraft and sorcery and that kind of stuff for the purpose of loosh harvesting, and whatnot, they mock you and they try and make it sound like you're a paranoid schizophrenic that doesn't know what they're talking about outside of they're gone crazy, because God forbid any government employee would do such practices, because in their mind, it doesn't exist. Just like Judge Ross thinks that it's impossible for a hospital to illegally harvest organs and then illegally embalm a body so that it can be used as a distraction away from what happened at the time of its body parts being removed. Okay, because that's why they kept her on that bed for days, people like that, because they wanted to prevent an investigation, because they wanted her body parts like ASAP. And she was booked in for surgery at 7:00 p.m. that day when her body was taken there. Okay. That's all material facts to which they'll end up ignoring. So anyway, mischief. Judge Ross is purposely being mischief. That falls under the Criminal Code of Canada, to which I will cite between now and when I sit down and type this. There's his dismissal. So I have to read it from section to section. And take what's most important, do something, say something. So maybe what I should do, because I'm kind of getting, whatever here, right? Okay, now. Hold on. We're looking at mischief under the Criminal Code of Canada. We're looking at the fact that they took out this witchery crap in 2018 under the Criminal Code of Canada, to which right there shows that there is acknowledgement on a federal level that such things do exist. So how dare they tell me that I'm crazy? Okay? In fact, it's just one big cover-up. And it's being done with mischief. Obviously, there's breach of trust, which falls under the Criminal Code of Canada and a form of negligence, right? So I don't need to pull out 20 of those cards out of the hat. I only need to do 2 or 3, maybe 4 or something in terms of that 1 or 2 or 3 pages that I sit and write, because they're not going to take any of it serious anyway. We already know that I have failed the test. Okay? I mean, like, who in their right mind takes a test that they know that they're going to fail anyway? Well, when it comes to life and death, well, fight or flight, well, doing the right thing, well, standing up for justice, well, helping other families get through the bullshit that they have to get through because of the boo-boo efferys, well, that's probably why I'm willing to take a test that I know I won't pass. And then I'll just start fresh then. Now, the next question is, am I typing on this? Okay, we got 3 people watching on my end. If I go in to start typing onto this screen, I won't be able to see anything. I won't be able to see comments, nothing, because I'll be on a different page, right? Whereas if I keep this computer open, now that it's on, okay, we don't want to lose what I just typed out. So we want to exit out of this. Hold on. Okay. All right. If I go on my page, do I see a live stream? Let me see. My channel. Oh, yeah. Seems to be there. Okay. But I don't need to watch that. So I don't even need it running, technically. I got what I wanted. We'll just work with this one. And this is an older computer, so we're going to exit out because we just want to keep it simple, right? So I'm going to sign out for now on this one. And then I'm going to look for something to type on. And I'll be working with the keyboard that, unless I turn off this live stream, take a break, and then come back and start up again and see if I can maybe find a different keyboard. But that would require me pulling things out and struggling and bending and lifting. And I don't know if I want to do that, people. I don't know. Okay, so stay focused. What am I looking for? Now, just keep in mind, if I could see better, things would go faster. But because I can't freaking see, that is the problem. So what do we want in terms of an editor? Come on, come on, come on. Oh, my Lord. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. all programs. Okay, can't see with these glasses. Maybe with these ones. Can you see me? We'll get through this together. Have to go get to town soon. Also, we'll watch vid again. Yep, doing the right thing. Wish I was there to help. Take it slow as she go. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna pit her throughout the day, today and tomorrow. Right? This is something new. This new kind of video. Right? So, okay, so let me see. Media file player. We don't want that. Maintenance. Oh my lord, I can't see people. I can't read the words anymore. They're so Microsoft QuickTime. I'm coming soon. Leave me alone, okay? I'm just opening up my page. I'll probably exit out of this for a while. I got to deal with Amari. Where are you? I just heard you. Go be with Amari right now, okay? Do not turn on anything in there. Out. Look it, I don't want to get upset today. Where are you?
I'm over here.
Okay, go be with Amari. Don't provoke me today. Nana's got a lot of work to do in the next couple of days, but once it's done, it will be great. It will be over. The problem with when you have like more than one computer, you're working with different programs, now I've got different camera. I pulled out another camera that I used to use, but for whatever reason, I don't know if I don't seem to be anyway. You forget the operating systems, you forget where things are. It takes a while to sometimes remember, right? What's available. Okay, let me just see, maybe it's on my desktop. But again, it's not like I can see. That is the problem. If I could see better. Okay, Open Office. So we're going to use Open Office. That's what we're going to use. It's just a text document. All right. We're getting ready. Now, Andre, do you know where that other keyboard is? It probably doesn't even have the right port, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Huh? The keyboard that's for the other computer in the living room there. It's not set up. Pardon me?
Why?
Where is it? Can I get it? I might have to change this one, but actually I'm thinking it's the wrong port. That's another thing about old technology. It's just a keyboard that's not plugged in, or maybe it's plugged in. I don't know. Well, bring it to me, because this one here is different. Thank you. That's another thing. You get into the older technologies, the ports don't always match up. As in this situation, where am I? Do you see? This port won't fit into this computer. That's why this keyboard goes with that computer over there.
What off it?
No.
No, I take it back.
For now, yeah, it goes with the other computer. I don't know. I don't want to start wasting energy on digging for, like, you'd have to start pulling things out, unplugging another keyboard, pulling, and just you waste an hour doing that. And I've been doing pulling and digging, and I don't want to. Okay. Okay, go be with Amari. I'm just getting ready here. As if I can see anything. Well, we're almost there now, people. Okay, this is half the battle for this part. Half the battle for this part. The other half is to sit down and start typing it out. Okay, and then the other half is printing it and hopping on a SkyTrain to go file it. And then the end of that is just to put it in the mail and send it to the government and wait for the big pile of papers coming in saying that they want to dismiss it. And then I don't know. I guess I'll just deal with it when that time comes. Right? You can't expect justice when there is no justice to be found because you're not working with people that even know what that means because it's not in their vocabulary. Okay, I'm looking for my mouse and I can't see it. My Lord. Let me just see. And when I start reading, I'll be flipping glasses around as if it's going to make much of a difference. You'll see. This is why I'm showing you. You'll see what I have to go through just to go through this shit. I'm going to just put test in here, see if I can see any print. Okay. So we just got the word test. Oh man, this is not good. It's going to take way too long to do this.
What is?
What's that?
What is?
Typing out what I need to type out. Can you make a bottle of that new drink there? I already opened it up. I think it's down by the front door. For Amari.
Okay.
All right. So I got my starting point. You know, I gotta be. I wish I could change this mouse. Where I could actually see it. Okay, so my opening sentence is, what is an opening sentence? Just so I have, before I go take a break. I don't even know how to write an appeal, people. So we've been doing this for an hour and 38 minutes. That's how long it took me to get to where I am right now. I wonder if Sonia too is watching. Must be feeling pretty proud of herself, don't you think? Okay. To address. This is how I'm going to do it. So we have to number it because they like them in numbers, and it's got to be technically a single thought within a. They're not paragraphs. They don't like a paragraph is where you have more than one thought in a paragraph. And when you write something of substance, it's usually the introduction, the body, and the conclusion, to which each one would represent an individual paragraph with multiple sentences inside of them. So when I wrote the first and original notice of civil claim for Fraser Health, okay, ICIBC, okay, I combined sentences into, I suppose, paragraphs, to which I got reprimanded for, to say that it was supposed to be single thoughts per section, per number. But yet this Judge Ross liked to call everything a freaking paragraph. So you got to be careful when you do this. They don't like paragraphs per se in the true sense of what a paragraph is. They like individual thought, an individual statement to one thing, and they like it numbered. So I have to keep that in mind. So we need number 1. Right? 1. Start with 1. All right. 1. 2. Address Judge Ross. Dismissal. Oops. Oh, this is bad. I need bigger fonts. I got to change the font on this. I can't see shit. Oh, this is bad, people. You don't know. Okay, I'm not going to get mad. You'd be surprised how many times in a day I tell myself not to get mad sometimes. I've only got 3 days of torture here, okay? This is like torture. Well, more than 3, but this part of the torture, I've only got 3 days. And that's not that long to be tortured, and even then I have to go out tomorrow for a little while.
You have to nest us.
Yeah. Go. Did you make the bottle for him, Mari?
Yeah.
Did you sit him up?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stay with him, okay? Let me just get this. Let me get started on this, and then I'm going to take a break because I've been doing this for a while. I'm just having a real problem with my mice right now, with my mouse, and I can't see.
What do you mean mice?
Well, I don't know. Okay. Not going to get mad. Maybe I can bring this closer. Come on. I swear I have to get a new mouse. I'm meaning to buy one. Oh my God. Where the hell is the mouse? Can't even see. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. Okay, we want to change the size of the font. We're at 12 right now, which is way too small for me to see. So why don't we take it to a 16? And I need to make it bold. You see, when there's a will, there's a way, right? So we want to make it bold. How do I do that? Here we go. Okay. Should help a little bit. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, so comma, this is how I would do it, and I don't know what I'm doing. And we know we only want it between 1 to 3 pages, no more, no less, based on what I was told before when I tried to put an appeal in with Fraser Health Authority. So we can only go on what we know. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, Let me stay focused. Let me bring this keyboard up. Maybe if I bring it up, it will work a little better. I have to hold it like this. Okay. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, comma, and this is another thing I don't like. I have to refer to myself as third party, which is kind of confusing, right? Because I can't say I, me. I have to say the plaintiff or Judy Chorney or Ms. Chorney, right? I can never say I or me, right? To address Judge Ross' dismissal, the plaintiff. No, now we're in the Court of Appeals. I'm not a plaintiff anymore. I think I'm a respondent. So I'll just say Ms. Chorney, Judy Chorney. I'm not going to get mad. Keep it simple. I'm not going to cry. Judy Chorney. Okay. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, get rid of the word the. There goes that funky mouse again. That's shit's enough to make you fucking mad. Sorry, boo-boo mad. Judy Chorney. I'm having problems with my mouse. It's going to be like this all freaking day. Something wrong with it. Somebody's snagging onto it, right? Or the mouse itself is just no good, which is probably it. Okay. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, Judy Chorney is requesting the Court of Appeals is requesting the Court of Appeal to now, when you do stuff like this, if you know anything about the English language, you try to not repeat with your words too much, especially in one sentence. So in other words, what I want to say is to address Judge Ross' dismissal, Judy Chorney is requesting the Court of Appeal Judy Chorney is requesting the Court of Appeal to request for a discovery. I can't use the word request twice in that one sentence, but they need to have they need to make judgment for a discovery. They need to make the government pull up some files. That's what they need to do, people, which I think is called discovery. So how do I ask them to ask the government to do that? I don't know. How do you write it down like that? So, to address Judge Ross' dismissal, Judy Chorney is requesting the Court of Appeal to have a discovery, make a discovery, demand a discovery, order a discovery, to request the Court of Appeal to order a discovery of all pertinent. I'm not a very good speller. No. And I don't even know if this has spell check. I want the word pertinent. Court of Appeal to order a discovery of all pertinent files that relate to Mr. John Bernard Duncan Shimei Chorney Sierra Chorney and including files relating to, see, this is where it gets complicated. That's why when they target a family, they go after more than one. Truth for reality, send me a copy of the rejection letter so we can have a lawyer look at it. Okay, I will do that. I'm working on an appeal right now, if you're still watching, because it's going to be a long one. Probably going to do this again tomorrow. Okay. I'm just starting the appeal, and in terms of how I'm going to write it, right? But yeah, I have it on it's up already. It's up on Google Documents. So I'll give you the link for that. It's on one of my videos with Judge Ross's dismissal. If you go into my videos, you'll see Judge Ross dismissal, right? And in the description box, you'll see the link. But I don't know if you can print from that. I don't know. I'll work on it. Okay. So, okay, I don't want to start crying here. Okay, people. What was I saying? Sierra Chorney and including files relating to, I mean, there's just too many files to dig up. You see, that's the thing. We're taking the gang stalking back, well, really, from the time Tisha was born, people, 1998, to which Judge Ross initially started asking about what happened in 1998. But before I got to say anything, he ended up switching it on to something else there and completely ignored it. And that's when, I had that traumatic birth with a inexperienced nurse that almost killed Tisha because of the overdosing of OxyContin that ended up tilting my uterus for life and almost broke my back. And then from there, by 2003, illegally cut off of social assistance for over 6 years, being denied access to social assistance even halfway through that point, because my files were targeted through the Ministry of whatever it was called at that time when it came to welfare, right? And he's ignoring that, right? Trying to say that it's a statute of limitation with some of these things that I'm putting down in my notice of civil claim, when in fact there is no statute of limitation of the targeting of a family and the gang stalking of a family over a period of 20 years, 25 years, because it's insidious. That's how it works. They tap one here, 2 or 3 years go by, and then they hit you over here, and right? So, okay. Send me a copy of, okay. Discovery means formal process exchanging info before trial about witness and evidence before trial. Well, they need to get into the files. Okay. When I was with Judge Savage, who straight up and ignored the enduring power of attorney, which was a legitimate document that was passed over to him through the court, whatever, that type out the transcripts, because I never had a chance to file it as a document. So it was never documented in the court registry that he's seen it, although he did see it because it was handed over to him. But he never acknowledged it. And now what Judge Ross is doing is saying that Judge Bowden never seen it. Okay? And then when Judge Bowden asked Andrew from, the lawyer for Fraser Health Authority, where John was, Andrew just said, well, I don't know. We don't know what happened to John, which under their legislation, through their rules and regulations and mandates, and it's under more than one legislation that relates to the care of the elderly, they failed to do their job, people. And versus acknowledge that Uncle John fell through the cracks, they just want to cover it up and pretend that it never happened. And that's why Andrews just washed his hands of John and said, once he was taken out of that care facility, we don't know what happened to him. We don't care what happened to him. Dismiss the file. No, it's not dismiss the file, because what happened to Uncle John was he was put in a hammock, drugged up, put on the bowels of the ferry, taken across the water. And then when he started waking up from the drugs that they gave him, he realized that where he was, and he went into shock, which almost killed him. And that's why they immediately got off the ferry and drove to the Victoria General Hospital and admitted him into emergency, and then kept him drugged up for weeks and weeks and weeks as they were running around looking away to get new ID for him, because they thought that his ID would be automatically transferred over, to which it was not. It was at home. So, just so they could steal his money, people. That's why Andrew doesn't want to know, because they already know. And they're making it sound like they don't know because I didn't provide the paperwork in terms of the enduring power of attorney and the power of attorney as a representative to Uncle John in his best interest, including his mental health, physical health, all of it, people. So how do I get them to bring up Uncle John's files as a power of attorney to his estate, to him, to his rights? It's not just injuring Andre. It's not just injuring Sierra or so on and so on. It's all of us. They need to get the files. They need to get the files from the clinics that I can't get them from for Shimei and Sierra. They need to bring in the files from the hospital with Sierra, and that will bring in 50 freaking boxes full of freaking files, people. I'm talking 50 full boxes of files for everything that they did for Sierra at that hospital, which was basically nothing. And they know it, and that's why they locked me out. So how do I get them to call in those files? How do I get these 3 judges under an appeal to say, no, we want to know what's inside them? Forget about Judy. We want to know. Because if this is where our taxpayers' dollars are going and just being wasted so that those employees, regardless of what ethnic heritage they are, that work at the Surrey Memorial Hospital can frolic and play and act like they're doing something important when in fact oftentimes they're not, because Sierra is a testament to that, and then to have her lured to her death on top of it, like, come on. So isn't that a discovery? Is that I want her medical files. I want Uncle John's medical files. I want his medical files that were developed and created at the Victoria General Hospital, because it will prove everything that I say, because it's already documented with his family member niece in this situation talking to Shimei how he went off the ferry straight to the emergency room, and they're telling him that's how they found him. Okay, you found him like that in a care facility that he was basically being held hostage to for like 40 freaking days. But you're trying to accuse me of elderly abuse. How the hell could I abuse on John in a care home for 40 freaking days? As he's asking me to go get a lawyer to get him out of there without them following us home. Coming in with the freaking cops, taking him out of here. That's the only reason we didn't bring him home, is because we didn't want the cops banging on our door coming in to get Uncle John. That would have been too traumatizing for him. So he told me to go get a lawyer. And that lawyer told me, you write everybody's name down. Whatever it is that you file, you put everybody's names. Shimei, Sierra, Marcane, Tisha, Brooks, you, Andre. And then what? Judge Ross comes in, well, we're just going to put everybody in a little fucking silo and let me go get my hammer and nails and just start hammering them each one into their own little fucking silo. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to call that justice. Yeah, okay. What do you want?
I'm gonna finish this bottle.
Good. Just stay with him for a while. I'm going to take a break in a bit.
I have a pizza.
Yeah, you can have the last piece.
There's only 2. So,
No, I ate one.
yeah, just 2 in there.
There's still 2 in there?
Yeah.
I ate one.
I know. I'm waiting to notice 2 pizzas.
Well, eat them.
I'm hungry.
Go ahead. I'm warning you now. I'm doing this for a couple of days because I got to get this over with.
Okay, it's about to be weapons, so I'll tell you when I'm gonna go, okay?
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I need files. We need to get these judges wanting to look at these files for themselves because they're curious cats, okay? And it's not about curiosity killed the cat. It's about the cat wants just to freaking know what the heck is going on, okay? And take care of the rats. The cat wants to kill the freaking rats. How about that? Huh? The cat is going on its instincts to do the right thing. Okay? So I don't know how to write it, though. That's the problem. And I only got 2 days to write it. And I can't even see. Discovery means formal process, exchanging info before trial. They're trying to prevent me from getting the info. They denied me access to my children's medical files at the clinic, and they denied me access to Sierra's medical files at one particular hospital. And if you know it's one, it would be anything, because they're denying they don't want to be exposed for the negligence in regards to the health care that they provided to Sierra for a number of years, to which amounted out to nothing except a gruesome death. That's it. Under a false investigation after the fact, so that they could cover their tracks with more illegal organ harvesting. How do you write this all down and make the cats want to get rid of the rats? Right now, these cats are comfortable with the rats. They live together and play together. Okay, stay focused. Stay off the rant. See, as soon as I calm down, I want to cry. Okay, to address Judge Ross's dismissal, Judy Charney is requesting the Court of Appeal to order a discovery of all pertinent files that relate to Mr. John Bernard Duncan, Sinead Charney, Sierra Charney, and including files relating to, I'm going to put down Andre Charney, Amari Charney, because that all falls in parcel with that gang stalking and targeting of a family. And yeah, okay. I'm not looking for cash because they illegally apprehended Andre. No, I'm looking for justice because that action was a form of targeting that disrupted my family's mental health, mental growth, physical, the whole aspect of teenagers coming into adulthood was disrupted because of the depression that resulted from that illegal act.
It's 11 now. I'm going to go.
Okay, come right back. Amari's penciled in?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to have to go pretty soon. Just get this first sentence going. But I'm having a problem with this freaking mouse. So I might have to change something here because this is pathetic, man. I'm not going to get mad. I don't expect to pass the test, but I am willing to take it. Sierra Charney, and including files relating to Andre Charney and Amari Johnson can't see people. Like I said, this keyboard's no good. I'm gonna have to make an effort to get a different keyboard, or I don't know. Oh my Lord. Okay. Single thoughts. Remember that, right? Try and put a single thought in one sentences. Okay, even though they refer them to as paragraphs, that's not true. They are single thought sentences. There's probably maybe they are a form of a paragraph. I don't know. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, Judy Chorney is requesting the Court of Appeal to order a discovery of all pertinent files that relate to Mr. John Bernard Duncan, Sinead Chorney. Well, technically it's Bernard John Duncan, so maybe give justice where justice is due. So let's put, right, he just liked to be called John. He didn't like, well, no. Hey, Bernard! He felt more comfortable with John, so I'll just put John Duncan and take out the Bernard. We know who Uncle John is. We love him. We'll never forget him. We'll always fight for justice for Uncle John, right? He's going to crack up a few icebergs, make way for his friends so they can get justice. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Uncle John was a justice warrior just as much as I was or am. If there was no Uncle John, I wouldn't be doing this today. I don't even know what happened here. Oh my Lord, people. This is terrible. You don't know. This is bad. So bad. I am so scared to go to the hospital. You don't know. I'm dreading it. I'm going to get some sort of funky, I don't want to say it, but immigrant doctor that probably won't know what they're doing. Or if they do, they're not going to care because they don't need to. And who knows? I've already seen it happen. And that's what we got out here. So sometimes I think some of these individuals that pose as healthcare workers are not really healthcare workers. They're more like staged actors just posing as doctors or whatever. I do. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to turn this off and look for another keyboard. Seriously, okay? Because I'm making... Okay, so I will do the correction after. So, all right. So I think we'll just stop with this, and maybe I'll just take a break and go look for another keyboard. At least that. I don't know about a mouse, but anyway, I'll see what I can do. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, Judy Chorney, and I'll bring this computer screen up a little closer to me, right? So I don't have to go like this, okay? Because I'm sticking my face right up to it, basically. That's how bad my eyes are right now, right? And of course, if you notice, I'm back to this shit again. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, Judy Chorney is requesting the Court of Appeal to order a discovery of all pertinent files that relate to Mr. John Duncan, Sinead Chorney, Sierra Chorney, and including files relating to Andre Chorney and Amari Johnson. Those are the main crucial ones. And I should put myself as well because they need to get into my social assistant files and go back to 2003 when I was illegally cut off of welfare. It doesn't matter what the government is at the time of the day in terms of it was the BC Liberal government that did that through faulty legislation that wasn't even in effect at the time. And being that I was a mother of 5 children that were all dependent, looking after basically a blind man, it technically wasn't my responsibility to seek out where this legislation was to allow the government to even do that to me in the first place, especially when I'm being told on the phone that if I didn't do as they told me to do, there was no debate. They were just cutting me off of welfare, and that's what they did, people. January of 2003, to which I had 45 days to move out of a house I had been in for 8 years. I had been in for eight years, and all my kids were at home with Uncle John.
We're gonna go outside.
Tell me, how was I supposed to go find that legislation that gave the government the right to do that? Where would I have found it? When would I have had time to find it? What could I have done to appeal it? The damage was already done. They already put the family out on the streets, illegally, I might add. It took me, I didn't discover, I don't want to say crime, but it was criminal what they did to my family because they were trying to balance their budget. That was the big spiel with the BC Liberal government. We're going to balance the budget and bring in welfare reform to do it, and we're going to make the poorest of the poor pay for it as they promoted the Winter Olympic Games. Okay, and my family was one of the first ones that got a hit. So when Uncle John was medically kidnapped and I started, or maybe it was when I was fighting for Andre. I don't know. I've had a lot of fights, but through my travels, I came across the actual legislation. I've got something that specifically states when the legislation came in, how it was treated, under what ministry, because the welfare office had a different name at that time, and how that public union sector within social assistance ended up taking the government to court to rescind the legislation because it went against the Charter of Human Rights and it was too damaging to too many people. And so the government removed it, but by then the damage had already been done. And I think I discovered that whole process when I was working on Uncle John's stuff. So what I did when I submitted that 170 pages initially with this, what I'm doing right now with the Attorney General's office, within the first few pages, I've provided bank statements from 2002 in the month of November, December, going into January of 2003, February, March of 2003, to show how my welfare check of whatever it was, I can let you know later. Well, here, I can actually let you know now. Where is it? I can let you know now. With 5 dependent children. Was just stopped. I can prove that because I have my original bank statements from CIBC Bank from 2002, 2003. And I submitted that as evidence, to which the judge is ignoring, as Sonia too is saying that it's beyond the statute of limitation. Well, perhaps she may have a point, but not when it comes to gang stalking, because it clearly shows that under the BC Liberal government, the poorest of the poor were targeted specifically to balance their budget, and they used corrupt legislation to do it. And in my instance, it wasn't even in effect. And I can prove that through their legislation that I have in one of those binders under evidence. And if they question what I'm saying, they can go into my ministry files and they can pull up those files and they can find out why they cut me off, but they don't want to, because when they took Andre, and I'm going to end this soon, when they took Andre, and then when I finally 22 court cases later fighting for Andre, got to bring him home, I had to fill out their foster care shit, right? Where, you get to be approved to be whatever it is. And anyway, long story short, there was a woman that was helping me with it because I was swamped with a bunch of stuff. And, they kind of had to interview you and, ask you questions. And, she tried to superimpose certain things. And when I told her that I got cut off of welfare, she says, "Oh, no, that's not true." I said, "Yes, it is." She says, "No, you went off it on your own." I said, "No, I did not. I did not went off it on my own. I was literally cut off of it in the heart of winter because I couldn't go work a tomato factory or fish factory or whatever it was that they wanted me to work. And they used legislation as an excuse to do it, but the legislation wasn't even in effect. And that legislation didn't even apply to me. Is there a statute of limitation on that? I don't know, people, because the government is trying to say that it is. But it took me to have to wait for Uncle John to get medically kidnapped or maybe Andre illegally apprehended before I even came across the legitimate information to prove that what I'm telling you is true, to which is not my fault because it's negligence of the government, because the government itself is corrupt, right? But it definitely proves the ongoing targeting of my family. Like, who does that? Who cuts off a mother of 5 children, the ages between 17, 18 to age 3, with a dependent elderly person with bad eyes and whatnot in the middle of winter just to balance their budget so they can bring in the Winter Olympic Games? Tell me, who does that? Okay. Well, the BC Liberal government did that. Okay. And then they terrorized my family for another 6 years with 16, sorry, with their legislation. And then along came the NDP, and, things softened up a little bit. But, in terms of justice, there is no justice. So, yeah, I have my original, with my freaking bank account number on there. If somebody wants to go hack my account, they can do that, floating around the courthouse all over the place. You would think that the freaking lawyer would acknowledge it, but no, no, no. Of course not. Or not the lawyer, the judge. No, no, no. No, no, no. They just want to bring in their case law and say that whatever I got to say is outdated and doesn't matter. No, I lost what I had on top of it. Is this it? So, yeah. What can I show you? I don't want to show you my account number, even though it's floating all over the courthouse. But it's there. So they should be pulling up my files as well. So I have to write that in. Whatever file they want to freaking pull up, because you've got the financial part and then you've got the social service part with the Ministry of Children and Family Development, with all those calls against me to try and discredit my character so that they can take my grandkids away and silence me forever. Okay, so we're going to just work on this one introduction thing, and I'm going to turn this off. Is anyone even watching? It says 2 people. Because a lot of stuff I'm talking about is just rehashing old news, right? So, but why? Why am I rehashing old news? Because the government fails to acknowledge that old news, because they're trying to bury the fact that they put an illegal act on my family that basically almost destroyed us and set us up for even more failure. Definitely kept Sierra freaking on drugs, because just as she was coming into just as I was being cut off of welfare, people, was just as I was learning about what methamphetamine was, and that my daughter was like an addict. I didn't even know what an addict was, but I was learning as I was being kicked off of welfare and forced into squalor, basically, and then looked after a little girl for 3.5 years or whatever it was, for no fees, for Ministry of Children and Family Development, just so that I could have a shanty shack as a roof over my children's heads, because I was denied access to social assistance. That's the targeting of a family. Okay? And it started a long, long, long time ago. So they need to pull up that file. And being that they can afford to do it, it shouldn't be a problem. Is requesting the Court of Appeal to order discovery of all pertinent files that relate to Mr. John Duncan, Shemaine Chorney, Sierra Chorney, and including files relating to Andre Chorney and Amari Johnson, in addition to Judy Chorney. I'm just showing you how I'm going to do this, okay? You always put yourself last. Just remember that. It's not me or I. It's so-and-so and I. It's so-and-so and me. Okay? It's never me and so-and-so. You always put yourself last. That's the polite thing to do. That's a complete thought. One complete thought in a complete sentence. If the judge wants to see that as a paragraph because there's a whole bunch of names in there and he's trying to gaslight you, well, so be it. For all we know, he could be just an actor, like some of these actors that they got working in our hospitals. Yep. I seen that with Uncle John. Oh, yeah. Seen that with Shemaine. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this off and see. I'm just gonna have to grab keyboards and mice from this computer. I'll take it from this computer over here. It'll be worth the hassle, because if it helps to alleviate some of this drama that I'm going through with this, I mean, the reading part obviously won't work. In addition to Judy Chorney, I'm just going to put welfare files. If one government party, if the Republican government injures your family, years go by, you figure out what the heck happened, and now you're under the Democrat, it doesn't mean that the Democrat isn't obligated to make right what the Republicans did to you back in the day when they injured your family. The same is applicable out here in BC. It was the BC Liberal government under a 16-year regime that terrorized my family through illegally cutting me off of social assistance, illegally apprehending my grandchild, illegally evicting my Sierra, and not providing her with proper health care or shelter or any of that kind of stuff. That all happened under the BC Liberal government, to which the NDP is responsible for, because the government is a government, it's a government, it's a government. The government as a whole doesn't change. Therefore, they can't say, well, statute of limitation, too bad you were cut off of welfare in 2003. That was too many years ago. Yeah, well, if you want to take it to 1998, we can take it to 98, or we can take it to 92, 2003, or we can take it to 2006, or we can take it to 2010, we can take it to 2012, we can take it to 2014, 15, when Uncle John was medically kidnapped. Then we can take it 2018 when Shimei was murdered and her murder was covered up. Then we can take it to 2020. That's called gang stalking, the targeting of a family. So yes, it needs to be acknowledged. Okay, so I'm going to shut this off. We're at 2 hours and 31 minutes with, looks like, 3 people watching. It looks like that. Yeah. It says 3 people watching. I got my first sentence, but to make it easy on everybody, I'm going to change this keyboard. You can see it's all guesswork for me. Can you see? What do you see? Does it look like you can even see the letters on these things? See, half of them all rubbed off. And since I'm doing that, oh, it's just so much work. What's this? Oh, wait, maybe not. Here. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Voila. I love technology. When there's a will, there's a way. Oh my God. Come on. Voila. Where am I? There we go. See, that's the port we need. So there. Half the battle. Now I just gotta turn off the computer, shut this off, turn off the computer, or at least I don't have to turn it off, but I have to pull it out in order to get into it. And switch things around. I have to get the mouse from over here. I'll try this mouse because this mouse is something wrong with it. But even still, I can't see people. That's the problem. So, I don't know. Can you print from Google? I don't know. I think so. So, okay. So, anyone got anything to say right now? Because I'm going to come back. Okay. I got to go deal with the Marnie and I have to do this, switch things around. So I'm just going to read that one first introduction paragraph. Okay. 1. It's an opening sentence. To address Judge Ross' dismissal, Judy Charney is requesting the Court of Appeal to order a discovery of all pertinent files that relate to Mr. John Duncan, Shimei Charney, Sierra Charney, and including files relating to Andre Charney and Amari Charney, in addition to Judy Charney's welfare files. I have to be specific because I've got my own medical files. And that's insignificant in the great grand scheme of what we're trying to do here. Okay. So I'm going to save that now. Leave it open. I should be able to switch things around without having to turn off the computer. So I don't have to try and find this again. And I'm going to turn this off. Like, I'm going to exit out of this live stream for now, do a few things, and I'll come back on a little later. That's what I'm going to do. I'm doing this between now and tomorrow. Tomorrow, I do want to go get that animal fat, the beef fat, the pork fat, because, you know, this is a time in life when you want to be frugal. And so I should walk off and go get that. And then I have it, and then I can work on that in the next week or so. Once I go off and file this stuff, then I don't know. It depends what's going on in the yard, people. I can't do yard work if they're going to start poking at my eyes. I just can't. And there's too much out there that needs to be done. And obviously I'm being sabotaged, right? Because I have been asking people off and on for the last 6 months or whatever to try and help me just do basic, simple crap. And I'm willing to pay, and it's just not happening. So. Okay. So now we're down to 2. Yeah, it's just a lot of chitter chatter in terms of just, we'll get through this together. Okay. So I'm getting all teary-eyed again. Because, you know, you have to control your anger. That's what it is. Right? You have, no, see, that's not what I'm trying to freaking do here, man. Oh, God. I want to save this before I go too far. As the tears are building up in my eyes. Now my nose is going to start running. I'm just trying to save the file so that when I start changing things around, I don't lose that one sentence that I wrote. Oh, boy. Is this why people drink? Do you think what I do is a form of self-abuse? Or do I do it out of necessity? I'd like to think that me working in the yard right now, just so I can get a handle on that so it won't be used against me, is out of necessity. And I'm not doing it because I'm trying to abuse myself. Because we know that if I don't at least make an effort, it's just a matter of time before somebody's going to try and use it against me. And they won't care if I'm as blind as a bat. They'll use that against me too. And tell me to get the fuck out because it's obvious I can't do yard work no more. I like to save it in just basic rich text. Rich text format. That's usually what I save things in. So court of Appeal September 2022. Okay. And it's going into my documents. All right. So we got our first sentence done. Whether I'm doing it right or wrong remains to be seen. Doesn't matter because we already know I failed the test because we're not dealing with ethical individuals. So something happened here. It's because I can't see the print no more. Now I'm looking at the computer screen with a freaking magnifying glass. Ah, it's bad. Keep current format. No. Yeah. I don't want an ODF. I want rich text. Okay, that's all I want right now. I just like that one better. I find that one opens up in different operating systems, like different programs more readily. Right. If I go if I go to a different computer or something, and I try and open it up on a different program or something, those ones tend to open up a little better. Okay, so what do we got? Dry eye drops help my eyes. We are same age, you and I. Bifocals help so much. I hope you have the opportunity to get a pair. I have what you call late stage glaucoma that's been untreated for years, in part because, I lost my family doctor, even though I still have one, in December of 2020 when he told me to take him to court because he didn't want me to have my daughter's medical files from the clinic. So it's not like I can readily go and ask him to give me referral to an eye doctor. And then just with everything that goes on in my life, I'm always busy and Mari and, eventually I did get to go get a referral in April of this year, but that hasn't come through yet. And I just, I'm a little concerned going to the emergency because once they start poking at my eyes, it's not like I got a lot of help because I'm going to have to still lift Amari and definitely got to do something in the yard. I have to take care of this crap. Could you see me wearing an eye patch and glasses yet? Because they're going to probably tell me I won't be able to look at a computer screen. Who knows, people? Who knows, right? And then, of course, I'm more than likely, because they'll probably, I did have cataracts to which they've obviously deteriorated, right? Because I work my eyes hard. If I'm not standing over a stove, cooking things, like when I did that 3 batches of ghee, my eyes were working pretty good because I could see, what was going on with the cream and when it was changing and stuff. But soon after that, by the end of the month, my eyes weren't working at all for whatever reason. And the other day, like I was doing something cooking. I think I even did a little video on it with the big pot with the peaches, right? And the steam was coming up from the pot and it was getting into my eyes and I could actually feel it. So, I'm wondering if maybe I don't know. Was I hit with an energy weapon? Well, I'm hit with energy weapons all the time. So, was there some kind of dust that freaking SWAT, whatever it was, robot freaking hybrid human sitting up by my blueberry bush when they blew out my neighbor's house and ran off with a body. Did he put something on that light bulb when he turned off that light bulb so that when I turned to screw it back in so it would turn on, I just touched it and not thought about it and went like this, contaminated? And who knows? Who knows? I think it's a combination of a few things. Gotta be all right, Jude. Gonna be all right. Yeah. No, you seem to do it from the heart for the love of your family. Necessity. Okay, we're just reading through these quickly. And we're going to come back. I'll come back in a couple of hours, right? After I switch over the keyboard and I'll get a new mouse, right? Just because it got me through this far, okay? Today is a day like you've had too many of. We lost my 23-year-old nephew, just got back from the service. Well, I don't know how you lost him. We lost my daughter Shimei was like going to be 23. She was 22 going on 23 when she was murdered. Okay. And the government just capitalizes on it by filing in their own lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies that manufacture fentanyl, even though the majority of death out on the streets is street fentanyl, which is completely different than the medical fentanyl. Although Shimei had medical fentanyl in her system, and that was used as a means to subdue her so that she could be further murdered with cocaine and morphine injected into her body at basically 9 o'clock in the morning. So everybody could cover it up and blame the medical fentanyl for it. And then say she chose to do that for herself because she was either suicidal or decided to play Russian roulette with her life, with everybody in the house, because she wanted to get high on cocaine before she went to sleep. Just a bunch of freaking hogwash. Let me go check on Amari. Hold on. Fentanyl is bad too. I'm in the States. The street fentanyl is scary. Love you, Judy. Brian had medical fentanyl too. Well, that's interesting. It's because they're using the medical fentanyl to dope them up and make them sleepy and woozy and pass out so they can come in later and inject him with something. That's what happened to Shimei. Because Shimei didn't do that crap. Okay. So what better way to get to her than to make her think that she was sick with the flu? Okay. And then come up behind her. I say Julian whacked her on the head because I can prove that she has a bruise. Even though hospital staff tried to say she didn't, but through exposure, I can prove that she did. As a matter of fact, you can even see it without the exposure if you look enough, if you know what to look for, right? Makeup can only cover so much, cover up so much. Every woman knows that, right? And then, inject them with a speedball, because I think that's what cocaine and morphine is. Is that a speedball? Because morphine is like a downer and cocaine is like an upper. So just inject her with a speedball, right? So it made it look like she killed herself. And it was laced with medical fentanyl, which is a bunch of crock. Because if they're lacing anything out here with anything, they're using the street drugs with lacing the drugs, right? And now they're putting in something else, bentonite or something. I don't know. So that's suspicious right there, Tammy. I hate to say it, knowing what I know with what happened to Shmei. And if they're saying he had medical fentanyl in him, that was to put him to sleep just so they can come in with the rest of this shit and inject him. It was just, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but you already know. You know, Tammy. You know as much as I know. And we know. We're mothers. We know. Okay. So we're going to just call it quits for now because this is almost a 3-hour live. So we got one sentence. One sentence out of all of that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to switch the keyboards around, get myself another mouse, do that at the same time. I'll go dig out the binders for Truth for Reality since he popped in. And just because, we want a couple of material facts in there. I don't know how I'm going to get him in there. I will see if I can send him the link for what I've already got online in terms of Judge Ross dismiss, his judgment, right? I should be able to, I'll just forward him the link to that. And I think he can print it out. I think. I'm not sure. Otherwise, I'd have to start mucking around, and I can't do that. I can't do that because I only got a few days to submit this. I have to have this done by probably the 20th or 21st because he released it on the 25th of last month, and I've only got 30 days. So, and even then, I'm not sweating it. I don't expect to pass. Okay. I don't expect to pass this test, but I'm definitely going to try and take it. Well, he died on his futon too, Judy. Yeah. What is it with futons? Shemay was on the futon. Yeah. I hate paperwork. I hate computers even more. I don't mind when I can see. The paperwork, it get hard for me to get me going because I've done so much typing, with around the foundation and being positive and trying to promote it and then, fighting for Andre, fighting for Sierra, and then Uncle John came into the mix and then Shemay, and I'm doing this. Now I'm at the point where it's like pulling teeth. And that's why I'm kind of doing what I'm doing now, because I don't feel so lonely or alone while I'm doing this, because I know it's basically fruitless because I'm dealing with devilish people that are just devilish. And, they have everything in their corner because they're the ones that control everything. And anyway, I saw your old foundation videos. Very nice. Yeah, but people aren't interested in that kind of stuff out here. They're interested in the things that I talk about, which makes them feel uncomfortable when I bring it to their attention, because it's not something that they like to talk about. It's just something they like to do. So, yeah, right? You know how that goes. In terms of like medically kidnapping the elderly for their houses and assets, and just making sure that nobody ever goes to jail for murder by fentanyl, because it brings in body parts, and injuring babies at the time of their birth, so it's automatic sign into research studies, because the people that care for them are poor, really don't have much of a choice. Because we certainly can't afford private care, because we fall under that manufactured poverty, and we're expected to stay like that for the rest of our lives, because for whatever reason we're in a caste system here in Canada, which is supposed to be a democracy, but obviously it's not, right? I had a Punjabi tell me one time, I'm not going to tell you who, but anyway, I said, we need to find a way to go and help the children in India, being that there's 20 million children in India. Last time that was when that conversation happened, which was just say in the last 8-10 years ago, there was 20 million children in India that were directly homeless and needed help. And I said, well, you help me with the foundation. You can, be a leader to your community, and we can find a way to help those children. You know what he told me, people? He said, just leave them alone. Let them live it. That's their life. That's the way they were born into it. That's just the way it is. You're here in Canada. You deal with Canadian problems. And I don't get no help even with the Canadian problems. Okay. But that just shows you how closed off. So whatever I was trying to do didn't amount out to nothing. What it's amounting out to is a big pile of shit being thrown out on the road as a free for all. Okay. That's what it's come down to. Chaos and change go hand in hand. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to end now, and I'll come back in a couple, 2-3 hours or so, unless something happens. Okay, I just want to put on a load of laundry and just do a few things, and then give my eyes a bit of a rest and start fresh. Start fresh with, because now we got what we need. I've got this. I got my opening statement, right? We know we're going to get a new keyboard, new mouse. Hopefully that will help. And then I'm just going to start reading. And then when I come to whatever it is that triggers my brain to I guess, do a rebuttal. I don't know how to write an appeal, but I'm going to write it anyway to the best of my ability. And that's what it's going to take to get there. So, yeah. Okay. We'll be seeing each other mid snaps and everybody else real soon. Okay. Real soon. The day isn't over yet. It's 11:52 a.m. So almost noon. So exit. How do I exit? Okay. End live stream.